Today we are in the Dungeons and Dragons Heroes Feast, the official D&D Cookbook. Our first recipe from the wheel is hand pies. We are going to start things off by frying 6 thick cut slices of bacon. Cook the bacon until well rendered and lightly browned, about 13 minutes. These palm-sized pastries are as near a tavern staple as you can get. For this recipe, you're also going to need 1 pound ground beef, 1 large Yukon Gold potato, 2 leeks, 1 egg, 1 tablespoon thyme, 1/4 cup of parsley, 3 tablespoons all-purpose flour, 2/3 cup low-sodium chicken broth. You need 4 chopped garlic cloves. I just used 2 of the frozen garlic balls I made. Salt and pepper. And pastry for 2 double crust pies. Transfer the bacon to paper towels to drain and reserve. Measure the rendered fat, reserve 2.5 tablespoons, and save the rest for another use or discard it. Return 1.5 tablespoons of the fat to the skillet. Set over medium-high heat and allow the fat to warm until shimmering. When I first started reading this recipe, it was kind of intimidating and long, but now that I've done it, it's actually pretty easy and would easily be duplicated. So right here, I'm adding the fat back to the pan. That was 1.5 tablespoons. And then you will add the potatoes and cook, stirring occasionally until it softens, until they begin to soften, about 7 minutes. And then you'll add the remaining 1 tablespoon of bacon fat and allow it to warm until shimmering. What is Dungeons and Dragons? For some, it's a dynamic narrative game with infinite possibilities. For others, an exciting tactical contest of strategy and wit. But for many, it is far more than a game. It's a way of life. Dungeons and Dragons is no ordinary game, and this is no ordinary cookbook. Inside, you'll find familiar recipes and dishes that were only available to your D&D player characters. Until now. An adventure of food. We have human cuisine, elven cuisine, which is what I am. We have dwarven cuisine, halfling cuisine, uncommon cuisine, and elixirs and ales. No people within the multiverse are as determined and adaptable as the human race. Their thirst for knowledge, their penchant for adventure, and their indomitable spirit have rendered them a force to be reckoned with. Along with this assertive culture comes a hunger for adventure, technological advancement, and creative experimentation. It is often said that humanity is a melting pot of ideas, and the same is certainly true of its gastronomy. With such diverse people, it is difficult to define the similarities across each culture, except for perhaps this: the only constant is change. The only characteristic is variety. So now I've added the leeks and thyme, and some salt. And we're going to cook that, then add the garlic and continue cooking, and then put that into a bowl. Okay. So now we're going to brown some of the meat. So you chop it up and cook it until it starts to get brown and pink starts to go away. And like that, the meat is brown. So now you add in some of the you add in all of the flour, And you cook that for a little bit to get the flour taste out of it. And like magic again, it's time to add the chicken broth and salt. Once that's cooked, you add it to the potato leek mixture and you stir it in to combine it. Look at how fast you go. Look at that, isn't that pretty? Then you wait 20 minutes and come back and add the bacon. And I'm pretty sure there was something else. Oh, the bacon and the parsley. So then you stir to incorporate that. Of course, you have to taste it. And at that point, it tasted really good. It was so good. So then you stick it in the refrigerator and you get your pan and get it ready. So if it sounds weird, I'm sitting in the car waiting for the kids to get out of Run Club, and it's raining and the dog is excited. So you get it ready and you lay it all out, and it'll make 4 hand pies. So here I am scooping 1 cup into 2 of the pies. And then you take some water and you go all the way around and wet all the way around the outside of it so that it makes them stick better. So then you fold it over. And you fold the other one over. So then I do the other 2. I roll out the things, scoop in a cup, put some water around the outside, and then close it up. And then you do it again for the 4th one. Then you take a fork and you smush around the edge of all 4 of them, so that way it seals them for when they're cooking. So then you take a knife and you put an X in the top of all 4 of them. And then you do an egg wash on top. And stick them in a 375-degree oven for 40 to 45 minutes. Yay. Here's the pot holder I made. Then you take them out of the oven when they're nice and brown. So when we tasted the filling before I put it into the pastry, I would have given it probably an 8. But after we cooked it and it was in the pastry, I gave it a 4 out of 10. And my husband gave it a 5 out of 10 because he was being generous, because he thought I'd be upset if he gave it any less than that. But it wasn't my recipe. I just did what the directions say. And it was good filling until it was cooked in the pastry in the oven for 40 to 45 minutes. And then it was not as good anymore. Looks good. So yeah, average it got a 4.5 out of 10. Onward and forward to the next recipe.